You've touched upon the Ozempic butt here, and I think that is related directly to muscle loss and sarcopenia. But what about the Ozempic face? What happens to the face? Because, the glow, so to speak, is lost in so many celebrities have taken this medicine. They'll never admit that they have. And I really don't know what the stigma is also, Do touch upon that.
So when we lose weight rapidly, we lose subcutaneous fat.
Yeah.
So the fat and the skin becomes a little lax.
Okay,
this
saggy,
is particularly in older people where skin tends to sag anyway.
Okay.
So if you suddenly lose weight, don't hydrate yourself well, not eating the right kind of balanced diet, and you're looking for maybe unrealistic goals for weight loss, then you get that little sagging on the face, which people have started calling Ozempic face. Forget this. Before these drugs came into the market, anyone we put on a very strict diet or someone who had bariatric surgery would have similar things.
Yes.
But now it is called an Ozempic
Like a bariatric surgery would also have similar.
Absolutely.
You can see it actually,
It's basically loose skin.
Visible, loose skin. All right, I mentioned at the outset that just so many Americans are taking it, and for a country like America where obesity levels are going through the roof, it's perhaps the need of the hour. But in India also, we have twin problem of diabetes and obesity. So technically, we are the diabesity capital of the world. So you see this medicine picking up, people taking this medicine in India. What would be the drawbacks be? I mean, I think this is fairly still expensive, to make it accessible to a larger population for health reasons. How do you see this happening?
So I see these drugs as very important tools in our armamentarium to treat diabetes and obesity. I don't see them as public health measures.
Okay.
You can't eradicate obesity by using these drugs. You have to eradicate obesity by preventing it, by lifestyle measures, not allowing children to become fat, to gain weight. It is weight that drives development of diabetes. When we say India is a diabetes capital of the world, it's because our obesity is also increasing the same way. So obesity increases, then diabetes increases, by and large. So they go hand in hand. So if you want to prevent that, you'll have to use the same lifestyle measures at an individual level, at a family level, societal level, government level.
Understood.
And these drugs are reserved for those who actually need treatment for their overweight, obesity, or diabetes.
I was actually wanting to touch upon that as well. You've spoken about the Green Revolution and how that actually did more harm than good. I would say in a way.
No, that's not correct. I didn't say that.
No, you didn't say that. But what I'm trying to ask you is that the very fact that millets and other grains went really out of the window, and what happened was that high yield wheat came in, and that actually drove, in many ways, the obesity, the problem in India, the silent epidemic of obesity in India, isn't it?
So I think that's a good point. That's worldwide. Whenever we try to fight starvation, the only answer is cultivation. And when you cultivate wheat or rice, at least people will not die of starvation or hunger. That is the easiest way to do that. But when you're sort of propagating that, then people get sort of used to that diet, and that is just easier, and it's also more palatable. As a result, what happens is that the other constituents of diet sometimes get neglected. So our diet over the years has become predominantly cereal-based or carbohydrate-based because of roti and chawal, because of wheat and rice. So therefore, it has become more and more processed. So all the fiber goes out. So you really have a diet that, so in that sense, while any such sort of effort like the Green Revolution, which saved us from malnutrition and starvation, but in terms of chronic disease, because we encouraged, obviously, the use of cereals, you ended up with all these problems. So we have to balance it out. We don't have to repeat everything the West has done. We really have to stop it in its tracks now.
Coming back to the medicine, a lot of people have this question. I'm sure you get it also from your patients that have been on the medicine, but I haven't even lost a kilo or maybe 2, What do you have to tell those people who are not losing weight in spite of the fact that they're on medicines? And, where does the research stand on, what's really going on? What could be the factors responsible for the patient to be in that situation?
So, yes, I mean, that's very important to understand. That's how biology is. every person is different. No two people are exactly the same. Same drug works well on one person, doesn't work well on the other. You see that all the time.
Yes.
So GLP-1 drugs are not different. It is true that there's a wide range of variation in responses to GLP-1 drugs with regard to weight. There is less variation in the responses with regard to diabetes.
Okay.
Most people respond very well.
Okay. So basically, diabetic patients are not losing much weight.
So the other thing is that who are the people who don't lose much weight on GLP-1 or lose less weight? So people with diabetes who are put on GLP-1 lose less weight than those without diabetes.
Okay.
So diabetes itself is a bit of a deterrent to weight loss.
Okay.
So roughly, say 60% of weight loss in people with diabetes as compared to those without diabetes.
Okay.
So let's say if a diabetic loses 15 kilograms.
Right.
Maybe a non-diabetic, someone who does not have diabetes loses 15 kilograms.
Yes.
Someone with diabetes may lose only 10.
But why?
So there are multiple factors.
Okay.
So this is the hottest area of research in the GLP-1 field right now. Why do some people not lose weight? Diabetes is only one of the factors. There could be many other factors, including their level of insulin resistance, their genetic predisposition, their concomitant drug therapy, very important. If they are on insulin and other drugs, that reduces weight loss. But also, those who make a greater effort with their lifestyle, they lose more weight.